Carolina's Perfect Cast, brought to you by Culprit, more than just your favorite worm. Dave's Tournament Tackle, shop online at davestournamenttackle.com. The Rod Glove, for all your rod and reel needs. Sunline, the strength to guarantee your confidence.
When you get a real bad cold front day, you want this clear water. Their strike zone's bigger than it is in muddy water, so they're more likely to come a little further to your bait. So when I'm flipping, in muddy water, strike zone's really small. Clear water, they may swim 3 or 4 feet to grab it, even though they're a little bit of a shock from the cold front. This water here is about 54, 55 degrees, which is not that bad, so the fish are starting to move from the deep water up to the shallow end of the lake. We just got out of the swamp and caught a few little small fish, which is typical for the swamp when the water's cold. It'll probably be another couple weeks before the big fish move back into the real thick stuff. So I'm thinking we're probably getting into where most of the fish are, probably in the back third of the lake. All winter they've been in the deepest end of the lake, where all the bait fish go, where the water's the warmest, and now it's starting to warm up. Like I said, the water's about 54 degrees, and some of these fish are starting to move to the shallow end of the lake where they'll be spawning. And I don't think they're all the way back yet. There's one. Little black water chunk. I'm on the flat side of the lake, and he was on a piece of wood that was really far off the bank. That would be typical. When we get to the deeper side, they'll probably be right on the bank. But he's on the flat side, so he was out in 2 or 3 feet of water, about 20, 30 feet off the bank on a little piece of wood. The thing I love about these little boats is getting into little lakes that they don't have a boat ramp. You couldn't put your big boat in here. I love fishing big lakes also, but everybody needs a little boat to explore little small ponds. And you get a brutally tough cold front day like what we've got today, slipping into a little pond that's got less pressured fish is an awfully good way to make for a good day when the conditions aren't that great. I'm gonna hit this little tree up here on the point, and then we'll shoot over to that other side. That little bit of breeze blowing over there is really gonna make a difference, I think. Oh, hold on. Oh man! Man, he ate that. I was just letting it sit there talking about the other side, how we're gonna catch him on the other side, and a nice little chunk on the Incredi-Craw. On these dark water lakes like this, you really want a dark bait. I like either solid black or like a moccasin or red shad, something really dark. A little chunky one. All been about the same size, just solid little 2.5 pound chunkers. When I pitched in there and he bit it, I noticed coming down that bank, the bank was shallow, and right when I got here, it was deep right on the trees. And with this cold front, they're gonna go to that little drop or else pull. The ones I caught on the other side of the pond, they were far out from the trees. This one is flat side with no cover, but right when I got to a deep spot, immediately got a bite. Oh, that's a big old jack. Well, he's not big, but he's got a big mouth on him. Look at that yap on him. Look at that dude. I don't want to stick my finger in his mouth too far, but he's got a mouth bigger than Dave Wolak. What I like to fish with when I'm pitching is I like a long rod, and even in a little boat I've got an 8-foot Steve's flipping rod and a 7-to-1 reel, and the 7-to-1 is just simply to take up the slack. When you get a fish that's running at you, you can catch up with them and you can reel in faster and make another cast quicker. So you want a fast reel when you're fishing slow. A little bit better. Well, about the same, twin. But you know what's really fun about it is when you get that bite and just yank as hard as you can, that rod bowls over. I don't care how big they are. When you can get that feeling, that's what we live for, is bass fishing. Your learning curve can be a lot faster on small lakes where you don't have so much dead water. You know, there's oftentimes on big lakes there's large parts of the lake that are not very productive. Hardly any fish live there, and then you know what they say about 90% of the fish living in 10% of the water. So on these small lakes like this, you know, your learning curve can be a lot faster and you can get confidence quicker, learning baits and techniques and where the fish situate for different times of the year. You know, a common mistake that I did when I was a kid was I'd come out one day and catch a whole bunch of fish on one bait, and then say I'd come back to that same pond a month later and I'd try to do the same thing. It was always something different. You know, say it was early spring and they were biting lipless crankbaits, and then go back out there the next time and I throw the lipless crankbait and nothing, and end up catching them fishing slow around the bank where they may be spawning. So, you know, you can get a pretty good education fishing these little small lakes. Oh, boy, he came out of there in a hurry. Look at him digging. That is so much fun right there. I was just going down the bank. I just caught two down the bank. I saw these couple of little stick ups out here. Look at that, a heron tried to get him right there when he was a little bit younger. Now, a lot of these places like this are right next to a highway, because when they build bridges and things like that, they have to dig out some dirt to fill the bridges with, and a lot of times close to highways, that's why you hear all this traffic in the background. There's nice little ponds. Now, a lot of them are public. This is a public pond here. Oh, that's a good one there. Yep. A little bit bigger. Look at that, right in the bottom of the yap. Beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Did you see that? My line was looped over that tree. I yanked it. It came flying over the tree. That was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I made a bad cast. My line was over top of a tree branch, and I saw the fish grab it, and I set the hook, and it had just enough leverage where he came up over the tree branch broke, and he flew out, and then he did the tail walk at the boat. That was pretty fun. Today's drive at home point is in the springtime with longer days. The fish are on the move. Instinctively, they're wanting to go back to where they're going to spawn. The way to attack these fish is just like I did today, with a lighter weight and a bulky bait, so you get that slow fall.